Welcome back to another episode of Philosophy of Chillin. If you don't know me, my name is Dunlab the Connect, and if you don't know her, her name is
Diana Garcia.
and her intro hasn't really changed over the last couple of years.
Actually, it was crazy. I literally was thinking, I was like, okay, should I say in Spanish or in English?
What? Spanish, for sure.
And what's crazy? I think this whole year has been that the whole thinking should I say English or Spanish, which is crazy.
Honestly, because of my love for the culture,
Say it in Spanish.
say it in Spanish, like especially because it's so easy for people to fall into the comfortability of, okay, let me just say this in English, or let me do this, let me do this. Okay, great. But in America, it's not just about us.
Yeah.
It's about other people, and you have to make yourself uncomfortable to learn a language or learn a culture that is really on the same type of wave as far as intentionality,
Yeah.
community, and everything else. You just need to take time to actually understand, like everyone else took time to understand English.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also what I've actually just told somebody recently was like my persona, like the media persona, is Diana Garcia.
Yeah,
Because you don't know Diana Garcia,
that's true.
So that's the reason why I guess I always keep it as Diana, because
Mm-hmm.
that part of my life. You really don't know me. Not you, because you really know me. You be
That's
at the
true.
family parties and stuff. You know me. They don't know me like that,
And that line is important
Yeah.
because being so heavily in the media as we are aiming to increase, and what we're doing now, like people mistake, oh yeah, I know you because you did it and I saw this, and
You don't know me.
no.
That's why you call me Diana, because you don't know me. Yeah, that's really how I feel about it.
Exactly. So that's why we're going to be talking about through diversity today. um and not just on the level of, okay, Hispanic, da, 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 but the question that I wanted to pose to you, and honestly, like I've always wanted to ask you this, but it's just we move around so much, and it's like we're trying to evolve within our spaces and also meet in the middle, but sometimes we don't have enough time in the
Yeah.
middle, and before we have to disperse again.
Exactly, yeah. That is so funny because now I'm curious. What question did you always want to ask me? That's hilarious.
Okay, so the question that I wanted to ask was, how did you prepare, or how, okay, it's kind of twofold. The first one is, how did you acknowledge in your soul that regardless of my culture, the things that I've been taught, or the expectations that have been placed on me, how did you recognize that, okay, this is a part of me, but this is not all of who I am? And then on the other aspect, how did you prepare your mental and really just your mindset on how to attack and start building a bridge within this media entertainment space to make room for the diversity and the platform that you're trying to bring?
I think I'm gonna answer the second question first because I don't think I actually even thought about it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, oh my god, my friends are fucking amazing, and
Mm-hmm.
it so happened to be like I was around a bunch of like hip hop heads, just people in like I'm in Atlanta,
Yeah.
and let's be honest, when you think about Atlanta, you think about hip hop, you think about trap, you think about everything in that aspect of the culture, and it's just because I have love for it. I was like, oh, I'm here for it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here. Like, tell me your beginning stories. Like, how do you want to do it?
Yeah.
I never really thought about it. Like, okay, I'm Latina. Am I really even gonna like fit in this place? Am I gonna, I feel like now towards, I guess, my career, I have thought about it multiple times because last year or this year, towards like the beginning or the end of last year, somebody brought it to my attention. They were like, "Oh yeah, Diana's having this dope thing," and they were like, "Are you gonna go?" And it was a male asking a female. He was like, "No," or she was like, "No," because she's not even black. Yeah, but they were like, okay, and they were like, it's just questioning what my ethnicity is. I'm Mexican, by the way, fully. But I'm just like, okay, but I have a love and respect for it. And my friends are
Mhm.
talented as fuck. Why
Mhm.
would, if I have a platform,
Mhm.
why would I not give them that platform? You
Mhm.
know? So to me, when she said that, I was just like, okay, then what do you do?
Right.
What are you doing for your people? Because
Uh-huh.
obviously I'm doing more for your people than you're doing for yourself.
Mm.
And is it, but then again, I feel like that was probably like a really petty question to ask because everybody has their own thing, their only,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
But also, like, just don't question what ethnicity I'm doing it. If I'm genuine about it,
Mhm.
just take it,
Yeah.
you know. So it's just like people like that where I'm like, okay, I'm not saying don't focus on one thing or one
Mhm.
audience,
Mhm.
but think about how much further you could go if you focus on like more than one ethnicity, you know? You just go broader.
You feel me?
So yeah, but it's just like I feel like this is the part I think it kind of messes me up sometimes. It's like, okay, I love hip hop, you like hip hop, but
Mhm.
if you're only focused on like Hispanics, like the reggaeton aspect of it, then you're
Mhm.
not gonna grow from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why don't you want to grow to be like, oh, you know, let me collab with this hip hop
Mhm.
artist, this
Mhm.
like pop artist, you know, like now that I feel like that's it's becoming more acceptant of like
Mhm.
you're seeing fucking Quavo at the fucking Univision rewards or whatever, you
Mhm.
know? So and I know there's another rewards before Hispanics come at me. But it's just like you see him on that channel, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like that part. Like we're literally trying to shake the culture in that aspect of things. Of
Mhm.
seeing the merge and seeing how much bigger things could actually get.
Yeah.
So yeah. And what was your other question? Sorry.
Basically, like, how did you prepare your your mindset
Mhm.
where it was originally to where it is now? How have you been preparing to take on the challenges
Uh-huh.
and get through them as you're experiencing them with that intentionality of, okay, this is why I started, but this is how I need to continue to
To be
improve myself and evolve so I can actually live up to everything that's been thrown at me?
I see. That's I think I'm still doing that. I'm
Mhm.
still trying to every single day it's different.
Mhm.
I get rejected,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm not a specific culture,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know, and I get it, but then also I do have the opportunities where people are be like, oh, she shows up, you know,
Mhm.
she's willing to put in the work like nobody else is.
Mhm.
And even if she's just at the door, you know, checking in people, they're
Mhm.
like, okay, she's the one who actually was like, okay, let me do this because this is where she's needed. So
Mhm.
that's the thing where I feel like that helps me and has helped me with is like if I'm a part of something, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna be wherever you need me.
Mhm.
So just finding
Facts.
someone to be like, everybody wants to be seen, everybody wants to be in front of the camera, you know, but
Mhm.
not a lot of people are willing to sweep the fucking floor because it needs to be swept,
Yeah.
you know, or like,
Mhm.
oh, go make sure to check everybody in because everybody wants to be in the party, not outside at the door, you
Yeah.
know. But then you meet people at the door where it's just like, oh yeah, who are you? And it's like now they have a conversation. Now you have the CEO of Revolt following you, or now you're
Mhm.
interviewing the CEO of Revolt and stuff.
Mhm.
So it's just like you never know. Just play your part, and you're. I feel like you will be where you should be at the
Mhm.
right time.
Yeah.
So.
No, I feel that because even when I've lately I've experienced more people like asking me questions like, "Oh, okay, how did you get into this creative space?"
Mhm.
And I just every time I reflect on it, it's like, bro, somebody asked me for help.
Yeah.
That's how I got here. Like it wasn't me trying to be in the party. It was me trying to help how to make the party happen.
Yeah.
And from that point, it just kept growing
Evolving.
and evolving. And now I'm here in this space, and now I'm here, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey,
Yeah.
just let me
Exactly.
know what you need.
Exactly that part. But I feel like a lot of people want the easy way out, and I feel
Mhm.
like on my podcast we always talk about this when I do have like the music execs and stuff.
Mhm.
It's like everybody wants to be seen, everybody wants those 10, 15 minutes of fame.
Mhm.
But that's the mindset of like they don't know anything, you know. They see the parties, they see the people you sit with, they see the, you know, the lifestyle you live, but they don't see the outside of you actually working. You're leaving your nine to
Mhm.
five job to go to this thing.
Mm.
You're doing favors for other
You
people
feel me?
just to build that genuine relationship though. And I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of people just want those 15 minutes of fame and not the
Mm-hmm.
real genuine relationship with people.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the reason why it's like that's why you see me with whoever you see me with, because
Mm-hmm.
I built a genuine relationship outside of the camera.
Yeah. And honestly, that's the part that I definitely want to ask more about, because even from my own experience, the reason I go after the genuine relationships is because I'm not looking for the temporary satisfaction. Like, I'm looking for the long term. Like, this is a career. Like, we're trying to build
Yeah.
this to where it's global.
Mm-hmm.
We're not trying to just leave it in one demographic. We're not just trying
Exactly.
to leave it in one city. Like, no, there are Hispanics, there are Venezuelans, there are African Americans, there are Africans, there's Irish people, there's all these other people
Yeah.
who have these all these ambitions in this creative aspect, but where are they?
Yeah. And I feel like also a lot of people don't because they don't see their ethnicity being represented in certain places. That's
Mm-hmm.
why they don't think about going in and you know
Mm-hmm.
being represented or being the person to represent them and stuff like that. So yeah.
Being the person to represent,
Mhm.
even through the fear of being the
Rejected.
representation
Oh,
and
that.
everything else.
Yeah. So.
So how was that for you?
Well, okay. This is the thing, though. I feel like um, everybody. And I hope, like, please correct me if I'm wrong, but like in the hip hop world,
Mm-hmm.
you don't see enough Mexican females in the hip
Yeah,
hop world.
I agree with you.
You know, you see Puerto Rican, Dominican
Mm-hmm.
doing their shit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
killing it too.
Exactly. And like and I love seeing those places like Roxy Diaz. I love her. She's one of the reasons why I'm like, dude, I want to be on 106 in Park. Because look at Roxy, she looks fly as fuck.
Yeah,
And like to this day,
yeah.
I follow her and I'm just like, bro, you're so inspiring. But it's just like seeing that representation of a Latina doing her thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, okay, but now like let's get deeper into it.
Yeah.
What type of Hispanic, what type of Latina is
Mm-hmm.
she?
It's not the same.
It's not.
It's
It's really
not.
not. Don't ever compare Dominicans,
Please.
Puerto Ricans to like any like But my whole thing about it is that I don't like when I am in these places.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like before going to an event, I get super anxious. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll be the only Hispanic one there. Like, oh my god. I'm like, what if they all look at me and nobody's gonna fucking look at me? And it's all in
Yeah.
my head. Like, it really is all in my
Yeah.
fucking head, and I know this. But still, I'm like, oh my god, like they're all gonna look at me. Oh my god, what if I'm too dressed up? That's why I
Yeah.
don't like to do too much.
Yeah.
But all my friends and everybody's like, own up to who you are. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh my god, but still, I'm like the only Hispanic one. Like shit, if we're in Atlanta, like what the heck? And that's the part I'm trying literally till this day,
Mm-hmm.
working on how to step into the person I know and everybody sees, So that's the part where I'm like, okay, bitch, you are the shit. Stop dimming your own lights.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, damn. Like I was telling you about my photo. I'm like, dude, who is she? Because I want to
Yeah.
be who she is. How
Yeah.
empowered she is in this photo.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wish I was her. And it's like, bitch, it is you. So
Hell
what the
yeah.
fuck? Like show it in real life.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
Honestly, no, I feel you on that, because even from my experience, you've been that comforting person for me.
Yeah.
When I'm walking into Hispanic cultures and spaces, I'm like, shit, I know y'all looking at me.
Yeah.
But it's at the end of the day, I remember the very first time I went to a cookout with you that you had invited me to. And
With Dakari. It was
yeah,
Dakari. Yeah. Shout out to
that was the
Dakari. We
first
love
one
Rockstar.
for sure. But that was the first one. I remember us getting there, and we was both like, "Shit, I don't know."
Yeah.
Man.
And it was an hour away.
Yeah, but it wasn't even the distance, because honestly, we travel all the time.
Yeah.
Like, we literally sacrifice to show up after we get the work that we need to get done.
Yeah.
We live that shit. Like, okay, I got what I needed to get done for whatever the case may be, but that creative stuff, we still be on go. Like, so it was really just getting there, and then you looking at me and you looking at the both of us, and you was just like, look, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your host, I Love to Connect. And I hope y'all didn't think that the conversation was over. Because it definitely continued. But we have been having some technical issues. So anytime that stuff like this happens, it really seems like a divine intervention. So, with that being said, I'm not gonna stress. I got some content. I know you guys want to see more. So, if y'all want to see a part two, y'all let me know. But I'm reaching out to the people, so we should have more coming soon. Peace.